G'day, g'day, Johnny Canuck down under here. I thought I'd start with how I became a Canucks fan, which is fitting given the outfit I am currently wearing. It's going to be a pretty common theme anyway. So, my wife loves to travel. An ultimatum was given to me in 2009. We go to the UK, we go to Canada, or we split up. I love this girl, so I said, let's go to Canada. Uh, yeah, so we locked it in, headed over there, obviously jet lagged, feeling it. I ended up looking it up, this place. I had to look it up. Probably wasn't called this back in the day. It was the Canby Hostel above like the Malone's Tap House. I just remember always seeing the Harbour Centre with the elevators going up the side of the building. And yeah, it was pretty rough with the jet lag. The pub was pumping pretty late every night, and then the homeless people would come down the alleyway, and afterwards with all their trolleys and collect bottles. There just wasn't much sleep happening, so we didn't really enjoy too much of our first stint there. Got a bit of a walk around the town, but we weren't really city people back then, so it was a lot to take in, and yeah, it was just a bit much for us the first time. So we took off on a trip through America, like California and Grand Canyon, etc. Come back up, and then did a trip up to Whistler, and come back down and headed out towards Banff, Jasper, etc. We finished in Banff and just absolutely loved it. We wanted to stay there, so there was a hostel there as well that we stayed in the whole time. It was a global financial crisis, so jobs were really scarce to find. Uh, just I had some cash in hand job at the time, doing some little bits and bobs. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest time to be over there. But in terms of hockey, it was always on the TV. It's Canada's game. I'm a sports guy, so if it's on the TV, I'm going to watch it. I've always sort of been interested in the sport, but it's merely impossible to watch here in Australia when I was young. It's a lot better now, but it was really, really bad back in those days. So yeah, consistently watched it each time I have a dinner, and got to a point where, yeah, I need to start sort of following a team. And cue the booze, I started following the Oilers loosely. Uh, they were the closest team, obviously, except Calgary, but I just didn't like their jerseys and didn't like that team. Um, so I get a little bit of good credit back there. But yeah, so we ended up coming back to Vancouver. We ran out of money. It was time to head home. We got in a hostel in the centre of the city this time, right on Granville Street, I think, near the mall. And yeah, it was great. We loved it. It was good people. We stayed in a private room. We got to walk around the town a lot more. We really enjoyed our second stint there. And in the reception, from memory, I think they were selling cheap tickets to go to the hockey. They'd come and pick you up, collect you, walk you out to the game, and you'd have your great night, and they'd walk you back. So we pounced on that. I'd always wanted to watch a game. It was November 2009, I think. We headed out to General Motors Place at the time and watched the Canucks versus Atlanta Thrashers. Um, Key things I really remember was the Sedins had a great night. I think from memory the score was 5-2 or something. If you do remember the game, yeah, comment down below and let me know what you remember from that game. It'd be even amazing if you were the people there that were telling me what was going on. There was people, I thought they were booing Luongo because I thought that he was leading, or they didn't like the goalie, and little did I realise they were yelling Lou. If there was a delayed penalty and the goalie just take off to the bench, I didn't know what was going on. There was a lady next to me who was wearing a Burrows jersey. She explained everything she could to me, which was fantastic. Yeah, had a great night. There was a fight. I think Rick Ripon, RIP mate, I think he beat the crap out of some guy twice his size. So yeah, I'd love to see that video again if it's out there. So chuck it below if you do know it, or the highlights from that game. But yeah, that was the night Vancouver Canucks stole my heart. Still have a kind of a soft spot for the Oilers, but yeah, because I came back and started watching the Canucks more often, the passion for them has just grown and grown. So yeah, returning to Australia was really hard. You had to kind of get some dodgy internet streams here and there to watch the ice hockey, so I couldn't really watch any Canucks games. And the internet was pretty awful back then as well. So trying to find a stream that you could watch consistently without buffering was almost impossible. So I finally started to watch consistently in like 2012, 2013 with NHL Game Center. Unfortunately, that's after the Cup run where we almost won the Stanley Cup, and it's pretty much all been downhill from there. But I've just absolutely loved getting right into the game. It's always my number one look up for the week. Lock it in my calendar, watch every game I can live, and obviously if there's work commitments, etc., I'll always watch the full game replay after the fact. So yeah, that's my experience of how I got into watching the Canucks, and how I absolutely adore the team. So yeah, let me know in the comments below how you started to watch the Canucks. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that just grew up with it on the TV. But yeah, as you can see, it's quite a unique experience for myself of how I actually got into the sport. And really, I'm quite a young fan of the game. So forgive me on Twitter when I do come out with some comments and my naivety shines through. So, but yeah, thanks very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I'll talk to you next time.